Okay, I think I promised you all that I would try to finish up the questions you still had on 2.2.3. So here's number 90. We have this equation for solve for S, and they want us to rewrite it and solve for H. So they want us to get everything away from the H and get the H by itself. I think this is the surface area formula for a cylinder, maybe. I'm not positive. It's a surface area formula for something. So the first thing we're going to do is subtract what is being added or subtracted. So these on the left are not like terms. You just write them down. And now all of this stuff, the 2 and the pi and the r squared, are all getting multiplied by h. So we'll just we'll just divide both sides by the 2 and the pi and the r squared. And then that gets the h by itself. So it is now s minus pi r squared over 2 pi r squared. And you might be tempted to start marking things out, but you cannot, because there are 1, 2, 3 terms, and they don't all have a pi, and they don't all have an r squared, so you can't mark them out. Alrighty, let's look at the next one. Let's look at 91. Which equations have exactly the same solutions? Solving is not required. Okay. Solving's not required. Maybe we just make them all equal 0. So maybe we just move everything up, over. Like move the x over here. 2x, take away an x, leaves an x. And if I move that 5 over, it's now minus 5. All right, let's see what B, how it rewrites. Let's just make it equal 0 like we did the other. Let's move that 5 over. That's exactly the same. C part. Oh, C is exactly what we were getting. And D part, I'm going to make that 1 a fraction, and then I'm going to cross multiply because we have a proportion. So 1 times x cubed plus 2x equals 1 times x plus 5. So that's just x cubed plus 2x equals x plus 5. And that is exactly how A part started. So we can do the same steps to it that we did to A part. They're all the same. 92. How are distance, rate, and time related? Suppose you drove at a steady rate of 20 miles per hour. How long will it take you to travel 80 miles? Well, 20 miles an hour. How long will it take us to travel 80 miles? I guess we would do that times how many hours equals 80 miles. And then our hours would cancel. So we'd have 20 miles. Well, it's 4, but I'm not exactly sure how to solve it this way. Maybe we would just do distance equals rate times time. I think that's what they're trying to make us figure out. This is the dirt equation. We're wanting to go 80 miles. We know our rate is 20 miles per hour, and we're trying to figure out our time. So we could divide both sides by 20 miles an hour. That's That's the same thing as multiplying by 1 hour over 20 miles, multiplying by the reciprocal. Miles cancel, and you'd get 80 hours over 20, which is 4 hours. I know we can see the answer more quickly sometimes, but I think they're wanting us to think through the formula, maybe. B part, now suppose you're driving at a steady rate of 60 miles per hour. So 3 times as fast. How long will it take you to drive 80 miles? So for 3 times as fast, we would get there 3 times faster. So I guess we would divide the 4 hours by 3. But let's do it. Distance equals rate times time. We're still going 80 miles, but now we're at a different rate. Times our time. And we would divide both sides by 60. My husband is, he's got the blower out, blowing the yard. Sorry about the noise. And so 80 over 60 is 4 over 3. And that unit was hours. Okie dokie. C part. If you're driving at R miles an hour, write an expression for the time it takes to drive D miles. Distance equals rate times time. We want this to be the time it takes to drive D miles, so we'll divide by R to get the time by itself. And D part, if you increase your speed by a multiple of M, so our rate is now M times of the rate, the speed. Okay, so they want us to change our speed to a multiple of M, and they still want to figure out the time it takes to drive D miles. So we still have distance equals rate times time. Distance is now M times the rate times the time. So they're trying to get us to get the T by itself. So I think the purpose of this section is just to help you to really solidify this DIRT formula. Distance is rate times time. So it's a really handy formula that relates the speed, the miles per hour, with the miles and with the time.